Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Jasmine. Nice to see you here. Today's project is going to start out with some Bristol Smooth cardstock, and I've die cut that using some MFT Wonky Stitches die. I've also stamped my images using Memento Tuxedo Black and then masked the owls off. So I'm going in with a stencil. I'm using the Tim Holtz Mini Blossom stencil and a couple of Simon Says Stamps inks. This first one is called Jelly Bean. It's a nice bright green. And we're going to do a little bit of layering with the stencil. And the second color I'm going to go in with is Fern, also by Simon Says Stamp. And you'll see when I take the stencil off that you can kind of see the jelly bean through the fern a little bit, and that's because these inks are translucent. So to a certain degree you'll see the inks through one another. And then I will go in with some Celery Stick by Lawn Fawn and add a little bit. This is a super light pale pastel green, and add a little bit around the edges. And that will blur out some of the stencil a little bit, but I kind of liked the effect. So I've taken off my masks. I'm going to go in with some Copic coloring. And I'll have all the specific colors listed on my blog post that goes with this video. But I am making my best effort to try to keep the caps on camera for my sketch markers so that you can see exactly what colors I'm using as I use them. And I've seen a lot of comments and stuff in the different crafting groups about getting Copic blobs. And that's basically when a drop of ink comes out of your nib unexpectedly, and it can ruin your project. And that can really, I've been there, done that, that can really upset you. So just take both the caps off your marker and it will kind of fix the pressure in the marker. And you can see here at different times in the video that I have both of my caps off just to avoid that, because like I said, I've had that happen too. And I don't think it's just a Copic thing, because I've had it happen with some Spectrum Noir markers. Any dual-ended marker I think that can happen with. So my first owl is going to be more of like a red-brown tone, kind of warm colors. And if you're not sure how to color an owl or anything really specifically, you want to be true to the actual animal or the actual flower, just Google images of that animal or flower and you can see the various different ways you can color it. Then my top owl, I'm going to go in with some cooler browns. These are more of like a grayish tone brown, almost a little pinky brown with the E70s. And I really love this color combination. I think it's gorgeous. And Copic markers can be expensive if you look at buying the big kits right off the bat that have, I think they have 75 markers in them or something. Those are expensive kits. And you don't always use all of the colors in those kits, so I wouldn't suggest starting out with one of those unless you can. I would suggest buying the smaller packs or maybe individuals. And if you look for sales, you can get them for less than $8 a marker. That's the general retail price of these is $8 a marker. But if you look for sales and you look for coupons, you can generally get them around $5 or $4 a marker sometimes, depending. But these are, in my opinion, the best alcohol markers. I've tried the Spectrum Noirs. I sold all of them because I didn't like them. They didn't blend nearly as well. The color selection isn't nearly as wide as Copics, and they just weren't as nice. And for me, I have arthritis in my hands, so getting the caps off of those was troublesome. Is with the Copics, they're a lot easier to use, and a lot better quality in my opinion. So there's a lot of debate going back and forth. Some people love the Spectrum Noirs. More power to you if you're one of those people. But for my money, I'd rather spend it on the Copics. So now I'm going to go in and color my branches. You will see a little bit of the green through the Copic because these are alcohol inks, so they, like the dye inks, are translucent. But I didn't mind it. I actually kind of liked it kind of looked like the leaves were kind of coming over the top of the branches at certain points. So I actually liked how it turned out. And where you see, like right there, the little darker marks, I extended the branch stamp and I didn't get it lined up quite correctly. So I just went in with a black Sharpie and kind of colored it a little bit to make it look like a thicker bark section of the branch, to make it look a little more natural. And so I start out light with my branches and then add dark where I want it a little darker. So the E79 is the darkest brown I go in with, and I just add it in different spots. So when I added the eyes for my owl, I really loved how it popped against that cool brown tones of that top owl. I thought it was really just really cool looking. So to finish off the card, I'm going to go ahead and add my sentiment. I don't think I mentioned what stamp set this was. Newton's Nook, What a Hoot stamp set is the one I'm using. And all of these stamps come from that single stamp set. Super cute. So I'm going to adhere that down to a card base, and I'm using W+9 oatmeal cardstock for the card base with some score tape. And that is it. That finishes up the card. I want to keep this fairly simple because I wanted to keep the focus on the coloring and the stenciling. And this would be a really cute birthday card for any guy in your life, especially if he's outdoorsy. It's not too girly and there's no bling on it. Fairly simple. So yeah, give it a shot. Tell me what you think. Let me know. And I hope you enjoy. Have a great day, guys. We will see you next time. Bye-bye.